the campus, it's me, Kieran. I've been working on a novel, and you know what? I can fit 5,000 characters in a YouTube description. So the opening of my book is in the description. That's all that you'll find there. I'm aware that I review books and dish out my fair amount of criticism, and now is my chance. I've been working on this novel called Smithing for about 3 months. It's nowhere near finished, but I thought I'll get some feedback from people. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I shan't tell you what the novel is about. I feel as though the opening gives an idea of what is to come. And let me say this straight. I'm not looking for undying praise. You can criticise me ruthlessly. Look, there's easier ways to get feedback, but truly I want this to be tight as possible. And therefore, flinging it out to people, like random people, to like scathe what I have written is exactly what I need. Again, I don't care what the criticism looks like. I just want this to be tight. However, let me tell you where this novel is set. It's in rural Wales, somewhere between the early and mid 16th century. Now, one thing you need to know about Wales during this time is that it's very isolated and no one speaks English. And therefore, all the dialogue within this novel is in Welsh. Some people would call that a bold move. I would call it stupid. But let me give you my rationale to why none of the dialogue within my novel is in English. One of Wales's modern classics is Martha, Jack and Shanko by Carol Lewis, which I have done a review for, and I'll leave that down below. No, I won't leave it down below, because I'll put in my entire opening paragraphs. Go and look it up yourselves. Lewis's book is set in contemporary Wales, and halfway through it, you begin to realise that all of them speak Welsh, and when they need to make a phone call for an ambulance, begin to realise that they can't actually articulate where they are to the English-speaking the telephone handler, to the operations. What do you call a person at the end of the phone when you ring 999? Anyway, and there's something about that idea that there are people who are so attuned to a different language that being able to navigate Britain itself is an absolute ordeal. Secondly, I can't believe I'm saying this, I was influenced by Cormac McCarthy. He would just fling sentences in Spanish into his work, give zero indication of what's really being discussed, and you as the reader kind of have to figure out what has been said. And the more that I read of McCarthy's work and realised this is somewhat of a staple that he would just throw Spanish in, I thought, well, why can't I do that with Welsh in a novel? Why am I somewhat scared of using my country's language like boldly within a novel and justify it in terms of people do speak Welsh? This is a language that is spoken by my people. Additionally, the time in which this is set within the early mid 16th century is very important, because this is where Britain began to move from Catholicism to Anglicanism, where Henry VIII became the head of the church. England asserts a lot of power over Wales, and with that, more of Wales needed to fit into the English legal system. And within the 16th century, we have, and I've taken a lot of liberties with this, I'm being very flexible within my novel. This is where last names enter Wales. And this is why my main protagonist, Arawn, has to have the last name Smith, because he is a blacksmith, but for some reason ends up becoming a farmer. In terms of naming one author who has definitely influenced me, it's Conan Jones, who I think is the best Welsh writer of the modern day. I think a lot more people should read his stuff. He is known for these blunt, stark, aggressively minimalistic sentences. Equally, Jones has this very pointed way of navigating the mundanity, the monotony, and the hardships of rural life. But yes, down below, there's 5,000 characters of something that I'm working on. Rip it to shreds, and hopefully I can make it better.